Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Pill Method International, and this is our show, Finance Fridays. And this is the last show for this year. And we have something special for you. When it comes to the end of the year, a lot of people are thinking about what can we do about our finances. And what we want to talk to you about this week is refinancing. This show is called Refi Fantasy. And we want to tell you the truth about refinancing mortgages. And so here's a question for you, all right? People refinance to lower their interest rates, to save money on their mortgages or whatever. But here's a question. If you're saving money and you're refinancing, who would have to be losing it? If you're saving money, who would have to be losing it? That is a good question. So what we're going to be talking about today is the truth about refinancing, and I think you're going to like it. We're going to give you some scenarios and put some information up for you, and you want to share this program right now. Share it with everyone you know. If you're live with us on Facebook, and if you're seeing this on YouTube, you want to share, get the link and share it with as many people as you know as you can, especially if they are thinking about refinancing. I'm telling you, people with perfect credit, what did I say? People with perfect credit often pay 100 to 200% interest when they refinance, and they don't even realize it. Wow. You want to pay special attention to this episode, okay? So before we get started, let's go ahead and put some information up on the screen here. All right, and there we go. And we're going to get a quick share here, get that up. And let's see here. Share this, and there we go. All right, listen. This is the Pill Method book, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. That's all we're talking about here, folks. A better way to eliminate debt. You know, there are ways out there right now that the financial gurus are talking about, the avalanche method, or the debt snowball, or there are people out there that are talking about using debt weapons or HELOC. But I'm telling you, there is a better way. And our focus is to make sure that you can pay the least amount of interest that's mathematically possible for your income. That is the key. Financial freedom is in paying the least amount of interest that is mathematically possible. This is the only program in the world that will guarantee that. Not only will you get that information, but you'll get coaching that goes along with it. And we are gearing up for 2020 for master classes on this information. So we're going to be inviting a special few into these classes so that you can learn the secrets of how to read an amortization schedule, how to beat the banks at their own game, and make sure that you pay the least amount of interest that is possible. Let me tell you this before we go forward. Did you realize that the average family pays 35 to 39% of their take-home pay in just interest charges alone? That's what we call interest consumption. Most people are unaware of how much interest that they're actually consuming. So once we become aware, then there's something you can do about it. we're going to show you how to cut your interest costs by 50 to 75% and get on a track to not only pay off all of your debt, that's mortgages, student loans, credit cards, personal loans, automobile loans, student, everything. Pay off all of that debt in an average of 7 to 9 years, and you can live well while you're doing it. You don't have to drive a 20-year-old car. You don't have to eat beans and rice 5 times a week. You don't have to stay at home and can't go on vacation. You can live well and eliminate your debt in record time using the P.I.L.L method system. So we're going to be giving some master classes on this very subject in the next year. You want to stay tuned and make sure you get your invitation to the P.I.L.L method classes, master classes on a better way to eliminate debt. But in the meantime, pick up this book on Amazon, go to Amazon, get it right now, and share it with all of your friends. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to say hello to anybody who is out there. So I'm going to go over here to my other screen and see what's going on with who's coming into the program so far. All right. So there we are. And okay, that's episode 8. All right, where are we here? There we go. We've got 3. All right, 3 people have come in so far. So I just want to say hello to you all who have stopped by and have given us a thumbs up. Fantastic. And let me see. Okay, there's Velma. How you doing, Velma? Good to see you. We're going to be talking about refinancing today, Velma. So you want to pay special attention. Go ahead and click share. Share this out with everyone, because this is information that everybody is going to need, especially if they're thinking about refinancing in this next year. All right. So this is going over the true cost of refinancing. I think you're going to like it. Nope, I know you're going to like it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to stop sharing here. And I want to also thank all of you for the support that you've given us in this last year. P.I.L.L method has done amazingly well. We're getting great support. We're bringing on new clients every week, and people are being blessed. They're getting out of debt. They're saving more money, and they're having more fun while they're doing it. I'm telling you, you can live an enhanced lifestyle. You see that over my shoulder? Live an enhanced lifestyle. Build a large emergency fund. Build equity 5 times faster and cut your interest costs by up to 75% and pay off all your debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. I want to continue to encourage you to get my new book, encourage you to watch these videos and to share them. And I want to also encourage you to stay tuned for our master classes coming up in 2020. What do you say? All right, so let's go ahead and get some information on the screen for you right now, okay? So we're going to start out with this. All right, let's get that up on the screen. All right, there we are. You should be seeing right now a $300,000 mortgage at 5% for 360 months or 30 years, okay? Now, the payment on that is $1,610.46. Once we understand what's really going on, we're going to be going over a little bit about how to read this thing and understand it, but you can get so used to making your payment that we don't pay attention to how much interest we're consuming. And that is the danger. The more interest you pay, the longer you stay in debt. You cut your interest cost, you get out of debt faster. Less interest, get out of debt faster. More interest, stay in debt longer. Interest cost is the key to all of this. So let us scroll down into the summary and take a look at this loan at 5%. And this is amazing. On principal borrowed $300,000, but look at the total interest paid over 30 years, $279,765.60. Folks, how in the world is that 5% of 300,000 when in fact it is really 93.255% of 300,000? This is a major, major problem, and we're going to go over what we need to do about it in some of our other videos that we've shown and in the future. But today we're going to go over some different scenarios as it relates to refinancing this loan. Did you realize that most people in the United States, and I would dare say in several parts of the world, especially in Canada, refinance every 5 to 7 years? Every 5 to 7 years. And so we want to make sure we pay attention to the cost of all of this. Now, take a look at payment number one, where $360.46 is going to principal and $1,250 goes to interest. That is amazing. Look at this interest column, $1,200 every single month going to interest, just adding up and adding up. So we're going to take a look at the principal line and the interest line and take a look at cumulative principal and cumulative interest. At the end of 1 year, the first year on this mortgage, this couple would pay this mortgage down by $4,426.03. That's how much equity they would have gained in 1 year, $4,426.03. But look at the amount of interest paid to acquire that equity, $14,899.49. Ouch. I know this hurts. I know many of you are going to leave this video right where it is, hit pause, and go get your own amortization schedule. But I tell you, your amortization schedule will not include cumulative principal and cumulative interest. So how do you get this? You can go to this website, Brett Whistle. You can see it on here, Brett Whistle, BRETWHISSEL, BRETWHISSEL. Google it, however you get there, and just plug in the numbers, and it's so easy to use. And then once you get here, instead of telling you how easy it is, let me show you. So you would plug in into the principal, how much? 300,000. Okay, and we're going to do that. We would put in the interest rate, all right, 360 payments, it defaults there. Let's take this payment out. Let's say we didn't know what the payment was, and then we want to show the amortization schedule, then hit calculate. Now, the payment you see here does not include principal and interest. I'm sorry, does not include taxes and insurance. This is just principal and interest, $1,610.46. And so now, and why this is so valuable to us, we get to see cumulative principal and cumulative interest. Now, the cost of refinancing a loan, somewhere around $5,000 to $7,000 on average. Let's say that these folks want to refi this loan. They're going to do it at a cost of $6,000, and they're going to go from 5% to 3.8. Wow, 5%, 3.8 is going to cost $6,000. But here's the thing: most people refinance after 5 to 7 years. Let's take a look at 5 years in, how much principal they pay down and how much interest that these folks would have paid who have this mortgage, okay? So they're 5 years in, okay? So this is 3 years, 36 months, 48 months, 60 months. Here we go. 60 months, we paid the mortgage down by $24,513.47, and we have an interest cost in just 5 years, $72,114.13. Folks, that is practically $100,000. That's one third of the money borrowed. $300,000. That's one third of it paid out already for a $24,500 benefit. Who wants to pay out $100,000 just to benefit $24,500? Nobody. Nobody wants to do that. So this is what happens. I think, you know what I think? I think everyone who refinances should see how much interest they've paid first before they refinance. I think that would be an eye-opener. What do you say, folks? You know anybody with this particular mortgage? It could be you who's watching this right now. So make sure you're hitting, if you're on Facebook, hit share and get this information out. If you're watching us on YouTube, okay, you want to get the link, share this out to everyone you know, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Go ahead right now, hit subscribe, and make sure that each time we post a brand new video, you're getting, you're going to get notice of what's happening next in our financial world. But look at this, folks, $24,500 in principal paid down and $72,000 in interest. Let's say they decide they didn't get this information to refinance after before they got 7 years in. This is 5 years in. Let's say they got to 7 years in. That's 5 years. This would be 6 years. This is at the end of 7 years right here. $36,000 paid off on the principal, $99,000 in interest in just 7 years. Folks, that is $135,000 all day long. It should not cost $135,000 just to pay your mortgage down by $36,000. We're going to make sure that everyone knows how they can pay off their mortgages, their student loans, their car loans, credit cards, and take a look at all of that interest cost and cut it by 75%. You should not have to pay all that interest. It's not necessary. All right. So now let's take a look at refinancing the loan. And let's say it cost $6,000 to refinance. So we're going to go over to, let's go back. Sorry. Let's go back to 5 years in. And so if we're down to 5 years, that means we have we've paid our remaining balance is $275,486.53. Are you seeing that? $275,486.53. So, and then our fee to refinance is going to be $6,000. So if we add that to what we have, then our new principal balance is $281,486.53. How did we get that? Let's go over it one more time. $275,486.53. We add $6,000 to it, and then we're going to be able to come to this new figure of $281,486.53, and our payment is now $1,311.61. So if we do this, let's take a look at our old payment, which is $1,610. We have $1,311. Let's just round it off that our payment is $300 cheaper. Now our taxes and insurance is not likely to change. So the big thing is we have a payment that's $300 cheaper, and that's why most people refinance, because it feels like we're saving money. If we get a brand new 30-year mortgage and we're paying $300 less per month. Now, how do we recoup our $6,000? Most people would say, okay, well, I'm paying $300 less. Therefore, we're going to take the $6,000. Let me put I'm going to go ahead and put, let's see, put a calculator on the screen. Let me go ahead and do a new share up here. All right, so new share, and put the calculator right on the screen for you. All right, so we're going to take $6,000 and we're going to divide it by $300 because that is how much interest we're saving. And so if we have $6,000, we take the amount, and so we're trying to see when are we going to break even on our $6,000, and this is how most people do it. They take the 6,000 and their payment savings divided by the payment savings. That will give them the number of months it's going to take to break even. So we got 6,000. We divide it by 300, and it comes to 20 months. So it says in 20 months, we will have wiped out the amount of the fee to refinance, the closing cost to refinance this loan. But I want to show you something a little bit different. Why your mortgage company or your bank wants you to roll the fee into the mortgage, even if it's at 3.8%, okay? Roll the fee into the mortgage and see what happens. So let's go down to, because I love to use Brett Whistle, because we can now see what everything costs. So even at $281,000 and at 3.8%, the bank still wants $190,000 in interest. That is still 67.745% of what you borrowed. 190,000 is 67% of 281. It's not 3.8. So let's go down and take a look at our payments now, where we have $420 going to principal now and $891 going to interest. Still a hefty amount going to interest. And now here's what you need to think about. On our $6,000 loan, and that's what it is, when you roll that $6,000 into your mortgage, you're essentially saying, please give me a $6,000 loan. And you're saying, you're thinking it's at 3.8% when it really isn't. Watch this. In the first 5 months, okay, remember, your $6,000 is on top of what you paid down your mortgage to. So you're going to pay back the first $6,000 first, okay? So in the first 5 months here, you've paid back $2,114.53 of that fee, all right, of the $6,000 fee. Look how much interest you've paid already on just $2,000. Oh my gosh, $4,443.52. Did you realize that? Did you realize as you're paying down that fee at 3.8% that you're actually paying $800 interest on a $6,000 loan? That's what's going on. That's why your mortgage company really wants you to please, please, please roll that fee into the mortgage. You don't have to come out of your pocket for the $6,000, and it's only going to raise your mortgage payment $3, $4, $5. If that part is true, it's only going to raise your mortgage payment by just a few dollars. But look at the amount of interest that they make on a $6,000 loan. At the end of the first year, 12 months in, we haven't even paid off the first $6,000. We paid off $5,131.59 of the $6,000 fee that we rolled into the mortgage, and we've already paid $10,607.73 in interest on that. By the time we have paid off the first $6,000, folks, look here, we are 14 months in. You know what I call this? How not to pay on your mortgage for 14 months and still keep your house. Because all you've done for 14 months is just pay off the fee. 14 months in, and we finally paid off the fee, and how much interest? That's $12,356.59. Wow. Now, if you borrowed $6 from me, okay? If you borrowed $6 from me and I said, pay me $12 back, that's $6 and $6 interest, would you want to borrow money from me? And you say, well, no, Don, that's 100%. Okay? That's 100% interest if we have to pay back $6 and then another $6 on top of that. Well, if I said borrow $6 from me and I said pay me $12 interest for a total of $18 back. He said, no, Don, I can't pay you $12 interest on a $6 loan. That's 200% interest. Folks, look at this. You borrowed $6,000. It took 14 months to pay it back. And $12,356 in interest. The first $6,000, isn't that 100% interest? The second $6,000 to make it $12,000 interest, isn't that 200% interest on a $6,000 loan? Let me ask you, are there any other circumstances? A person with perfect credit, I mean 750 to 850 or whatever, okay? Would they borrow $6,000 for 14 months and pay $12,356.59 interest in 14 months on a $6,000 loan? Can you think of any others? Can you think of a circumstance where you would want to do that? Well, I tell you folks, people who refinance do it all the time. While they think they're spending money, they're saving money, they just paid $18,000 for a refinance after they paid $70,000 in interest already on the other loan. Oh my goodness. Has anyone ever pointed this out to you before? Before you refinance, you really do want to touch base with the P.I.L.L method. Go to our website, PILLmethod.com. Let me put our website on the screen here. Stop by the website, and when you stop by the website, then you can request a free savings report. Get a free savings report. And so we help people all the time after they say, oh, I don't want to, after they see this, should we refinance or should we see what we can do with our current loan situation to see how we can eliminate all of our debt in an average of 7 to 9 years. So on every page of so you can click on get a free savings report. When you do, just fill out the information, okay? Give us your name, give us an email, give us a phone number, and a zip code, how we can help, and then go ahead and send the message. And then someone from my office will contact you. And when we contact you, then we can go over, excuse me, we can go over how you can pay off your current situation. That's not just your mortgage, but all of your loans in an average of 7 to 9 years without refinancing anything. And you may find out that you're better off in your current situation than refinancing. So give us a call at, and if you want to just call us direct, here's the number right on your screen, 256-886-1867. That's 256-886-1867. Give us a call, and we'll be glad to talk to you about what's going on with your finances and see how we can save you excellent money. And then once we show you how to save that money, guess what? If the bank received all that extra interest, what are they going to do with it? They're going to invest it. Now, am I anti-bank? I am not, but I am pro-education. I think you should be able to borrow your money at wholesale, not retail. I love the bank. I love borrowing the bank's money, but I want to pay them pennies on the dollar for the use of it. We don't have to give them all of that interest. It is not necessary. Let us show you how. Okay? So give us a call, 256-886-1867, or go to the P.I.L.Method.com, and fill out the form to get a free savings report. All right. So back to our story here. So remember, $300,000 at 5% really is 93%. That's why it is so expensive. And then when we refinance that thing to get a better interest rate, see, we're refinancing to get a better interest rate, but we have no idea what the interest cost is. Interest cost is the key. All right, so we're going to show you some interesting things about these two loans, okay? Now, I want to show you something about higher interest rates and lower interest rates, okay? So we're going to put another $300,000 loan in here, okay? Put that on the screen, okay? Another $300,000 mortgage, okay? And then we're going to compare the 5% loan with the 3.8%, okay? And I want to show you something. This is why it is so important not to focus on interest rate, but you want to focus on interest cost, okay? So here is our 5% loan, 300,000. Here is our same amount, 300,000 at 3.8. You see the difference in payment? $1,397.87 on the lower amount, and then we've got $1,610.46. All right. So here's the thing: if you plan to make every single payment on your mortgage, then you want a situation where you are getting the lowest interest rate possible if you're going to make all 360 payments. But if you're going to accelerate your mortgage, pay it off by canceling interest, then you want the right interest rate for your situation, not necessarily the lowest interest rate. Uh-oh, what's he talking about? Everybody wants the lowest interest rate, right? What does it mean that you can actually do better with a slightly higher interest rate? Well, let me show you something, okay? So now, at the 5% rate, look here. Do you see all this interest? This is what people are trying to avoid, a lot of interest. And we have a low principal payment, not very much going to principal when you relate it to how much interest you're paying. And this is something that if we are not educated on how amortization actually works, we might think that we're in a bad situation here, but let's show you how you can take a bad situation and turn it into a good one. All right, so let's compare our $300,000 mortgage at 3.8%. So we're going to scroll down here and look, more money goes to principal, less goes to interest. This has to be better. All right. So now let's take a look at what happens when I prepay. Okay. So let's say I have some money in the bank. Here's our higher interest rate at 5%, low principal payment, high interest payment. Let's say we have about $8,000. Okay. You've worked hard, you've saved up about $8,000, and then if you prepay the $8,000 at the beginning, and you can subtract that money from what you owe. Now, you've seen it in my other videos. I'm not going to go over all of the details. Watch some of the other videos and see how prepayment of principal actually works. But know this. Look at cumulative principal here. Let's scroll down to about $8,000 right here. If I were to prepay this amount here, look how many payments I eliminate. 22. So if my first payment was in January and I paid this much principal at one time in January, my next mortgage payment in February would be on line 23 of my schedule. I knock off almost 2 years with $8,000 applied, and look how much interest I'm saving. $27,143.23 minus the $1,250 on line one. In other words, I paid my mortgage starting here. It is possible with an $8,000 prepayment, I could pay my mortgage all the way down to line 22, not for $27,000 in interest, but for $1,250 interest. Folks, which would be better? This is why it's so important to know when you're putting extra money on a loan, when you're putting money on the loan, you want to know what you're getting for it. How much interest am I actually eliminating? What is my interest consumption? What can I do about it? What happens when I put money at a certain time in certain amounts? And on which loan am I applying that money to figure out your greatest interest savings? Okay, so that's $8,000 here on 22. Let's move to loan number 2 with the lower interest rate. Now, here's what I want to show you. The very first payment, you see where your principal payment is $447? Let's go back here. Principal payment here is $360. Lower principal payment, higher principal payment. Let's see what happens with our $8,200 when we prepay it with a higher principal payment, because see, now I have to divide all of these higher principal payments into the $8,000, and look what it does. I only go down to line 18. About the same amount of money, but it doesn't do as much work at the lower interest rate because my principal payment is now higher. That's what's dangerous. Now, am I saying in all cases you should never ever get a lower interest rate? I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, before we make a decision, it is not a given that a lower interest rate is going to be better. We can put all of this into our opportunity cost calculator and figure out where you're going to be able to save the most amount of interest overall. To pay off all of your debt, what is the best thing to do? Refinance or not refinance? I get that question all the time. So, Don, should we refinance? My short answer is I don't know. Because there's a lot of math involved in this situation. There are a lot of variables that we overlook when it comes to getting out of debt. So listen, folks, so you want to make sure that when you are putting money on your loan, when you're prepaying, when you're refinancing, the bottom line is, how much is this going to cost me in the long run? That's what you want to know. Okay? All right. So let's take a look at something else before we end today's show. And let's go ahead and look at mm, debt consolidation. So let's say we're going to pay off a bunch of debt. We're going to take some cash out. All right. We've got some equity in the house after 5 to 7 years. We build up equity. We pay down the loan sum. Plus, the real estate in our area has increased in value. So we can take out $50,000 or $60,000 and pay off some high interest debt. All right, and reduce our payments by several $100s by paying off that loan. All right. So now what we're thinking is I have some debt in there that is what, 15%, 10%. If it's store cards, somewhere upwards from 20 to 29% interest. Oh my gosh, we look at that and we look at the interest rate and we start freaking out. Look at all that interest rate. But what we don't realize is the interest cost on all of that. Make your decisions based on math, not based on what you see or based on feeling, but do the math. Our opportunity cost calculator does all the math for you. You definitely want to sign up for our master class where we go over all of this information in depth. All right, so that we can break it down for you point by point in the master classes coming up in 2020. And we're gearing up for our first master class probably in late January, early February. So we're taping it now. We're getting it all together so that you can find out the best things to do with with your loans, because they're amortized. And when they're amortized, amortization just turns everything on its head. It just makes everything all weird. And the information that you've been taught by the financial gurus of our time is not relevant to what's going on today. We need to focus not just on the loans, not just on the interest rate, but on the interest cost. So watch this. So let's say we have, we've got our $300,000 loan here, all right? And we've paid it down in 5 years. Okay, let's see here. Is this it? Okay. No, we want this one. Okay. So we paid it down to 300,000. We in 5 years we paid it down to $275,486.53. So let's put our calculator back on the screen here and do a new share so that you can see the calculator on the screen. Okay, so we have after 5 years, we've got, to clear that off, we've got 275,000, okay, $486.53. Let's say we want to roll in about $60,000 of high interest debt. We've got the equity. And then guess what? And in certain cases, depending on your tax bracket, all of that high interest loan, all that high interest consumer debt, none of the interest was tax deductible. Now, it's harder to use your tax deduction on interest now with the new tax laws, but let's just say you can, all right? So let's just say you can. Now, by rolling that $60,000 into your mortgage, now there is a possibility that interest costs, that had no chance of receiving a tax break can now receive a tax break because it's now a part of your mortgage by rolling it in. So now remember, this particular refinance is going to cost us about $6,000. So we're actually going to be rolling $66,000 into this mortgage. So we're going to add on another $66,000, okay? And it's going to come to $341,000. So we're going to put that into Brett Whistle. We're going to bring up a new tab and put that in Brett Whistle and bring up our mortgage, bring up our, let's see, bring that up. We're going to do a new share again so you can see. All right. So 341,000, 486.53. 341,486. Okay. Okay. 341,000 and what was that? 341,486.53. Okay. 486.53. All right. And so now our new interest rate is 3.8%, right? 3.8. And the new 30-year loan and our new payment is $1,591.18. So because we consolidated, we saved a lot of money by consolidating on our monthly payment. That's how it's sold. Plus, we can now, there's a possibility that some of this interest can be tax deductible. So let's go down, and you know what I'm getting ready to do. We're going to take a look at our beginning payment and find out how much interest we're paying on a $66,000 loan that we added into the mortgage. Remember, we started out, paid our mortgage down, but we added $66,000 on top. And let's see how long, by taking a look at cumulative principal, let's see how long it takes to pay it down by the first $66,000 and how much it costs. Okay, so that's year one. Year two, we're down to 12,000. Year three, that's 36 months. We paid off 19 grand of the $66,000 we rolled into this loan. There's 48 months. That's 5 years. We paid off about half of it. 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 84 months, 8 years, 9 years, and starting in the 10th year. Okay. Okay. Starting the 10th year, 109 payments. It's going to take you 60 to pay off the first $66,000. Look how much interest we've paid on that $66,000. That's $107,197.86. Folks, this is why 9 out of 10 people you know, and I want you to listen to me very closely here. 9 out of 10 people you know will never pay off a mortgage because this is what we're taught to do. Too much money going to interest. $107,000. Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. $107,000 interest on a $66,000 loan. Wow. Well over 150% interest. They've taken 15% interest debt, rolled it into a mortgage, and now turned it into 150%. 160, 170%. Look at that. Isn't that amazing what's going on here? And no one has ever pointed this out before. It's about time people started to know what's really going on here. It's about time people started learning the truth about how all of this works. This is why, folks, we wrote the book. There's only one book on the planet that talks about how all of this works, and that is our book, The Pill Method. And we're going to stop share right here. And let's see if we can pull that back up. All right, there we go. Put that back on the screen and do a new share. Okay, there it is. And get the book. I cannot emphasize it any more than I am right now. This book will guarantee that you will begin to learn the process of how interest is calculated, how you can start to save 50 to 75% interest cost on your loans, and understand it from the standpoint of how a consumer should borrow money. Okay? Now, I like borrowing money. I like getting it at wholesale, pennies on the dollar. You can get it that way too. There is no reason to continue to pay interest like we've been paying it now that the secrets have been revealed. What we're finding out is that accountants aren't taught this, real estate agents, mortgage professionals aren't taught how an amortization schedule actually works and how we can make it work for our clients so that they can cut their interest costs by 75% and pay off 30-year notes in an average of 7 to 9 years and still have fun along the way. You can live well, get out of debt fast, and save money all along the way. Get the book, folks. Read the book. Then also get a hold of us so that we can do a free savings report for you. Go to the website, thepillmethod.com, and give us a call on our line that's answered 24/7, 269 47. I'm sorry, 256 886 1867, 256 886 1867. You can email us at info@thepillmethod.com. You can also go to the website and fill out a form and request a free savings report. We do not charge to do consultation, and you can also sign up for a free class. All right. Well, folks, this is the final show for this year. I want to thank you for hanging in there with us. This is episode 9 of Pill Method Finance Fridays, a better way to eliminate debt. And I want to thank you for supporting. I want to thank you for joining our crusade and telling other people about it. We're getting calls already where people are saying, I heard about the Pill Method from a friend. We just got a call this last week that says, how did you find out about us? Well, a friend told me. They've been watching your videos. Are they a client? Well, I mean, we have so many. Sometimes we don't know, but people are watching, people are sharing, and we want you to be able to get the best financial information out there when it comes to loans. Now, not only that, but think about this. If in fact, and you can, if in fact you can cut your interest cost by 75%, saving somewhere around $100,000 to $150,000 in interest you never have to pay. What if it would be possible for you to invest that money for your family and turn it into 800, 900,000, or $1 million in savings for your family. You can, the average family can become a millionaire and build a legacy because we are not paying all that money in interest. And now we can show you how to invest it. That is the other side of the P.I.L.L method. It's not just saving money on interest, but we have professionals that are on staff that can show you how to invest that money and grow it exponentially. And by the time you retire, oh my goodness, that could mean some serious money for you to live on, and you never have to worry about outliving your money. And if you are concerned about maybe long-term care, if you should need it, you want to talk to us about that too. Make sure that we have some vehicles that can take care of um, uh, let's see, your long-term care. We have some vehicles that can take care of your investment strategies. We can help you to grow your money tax-free. And when you take it out, it's tax-free. And you can be assured that you can live well and not outlive your money. This is the P.I.L.L method, a better way to eliminate debt. I want to thank you for joining us for our last show of 2019, Finance Fridays. And we will probably take a week off. I have an opportunity to do some things, but we'll put it out on our Facebook page if we're going to do episode 10 next week or in 2 weeks. So that's going to be announced. So we'll let you know early enough. So I want to thank you. Remember, like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thanks again. See you next time.